Washington, inside empty Cleveland Clinic courts, Kevin Love was the only player that remained. With all of his teammates scattered elsewhere, the five-time All-Star hoisted numerous jumpers alongside a pair of coaches and a trainer. He went around the floor, stepping inside the arc and then popping outside. He worked on layups and focused on finishing post moves through light contact. This became part of Love's routine during his tedious rehab. "It was very lonely," Love told Cleveland.com following Friday's return. "Felt like a tennis player out there. Just me and my one or two coaches and a trainer. It was just me out there playing." That was the same sight back on Jan. 31 following practice. Earlier that day, Love took part in his first full-contact 5-on-5 session. Months in the making, it was the biggest step following surgery on his foot. "The 5-on-5 felt a little bit different because that was only my second time doing it in the last 3 months," he said. "That was the first time I could really be like, okay, it's getting close." That was probably 10 or so days ago. "I knew I would have to see how I responded a couple more times after that and kind of looked at a few games before the break kind of where it would make sense for me to try and test it out." Love's had plenty of injuries throughout his 11-year career. Shoulder surgery, debris removed from his knee, concussions. He's even broken both hands. But he's never had an issue with his feet or toes, until the preseason opener against Boston. That's when Love started feeling considerable pain in his left foot that eventually required a procedure. "Of all the past ailments, this one was the most unique. And not just because Love still doesn't know the actual injury. I don't think I've ever had this amount of time that I've missed consecutively, so in that way it's a little bit different," he said. "Took time, especially with a weight-bearing injury. The hardest part was being able to run and get back in shape that way, especially after 2.5 or 3 months. That was tough. We get paid to do what we do, out there actually competing in the games, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes and a lot that goes into it that makes it fun. The chase is always a great part of it." Larry Nance Jr. recently went through a similar situation following a sprained MCL, albeit the recovery not nearly as long. That specific injury only cost him 8 games. Still, Nance can relate to a lengthy absence. After all, he suffered a torn ACL in college that required extensive rehab. "The rehab process is the worst part of sports," Nance told Cleveland.com. "Your mind wants to go, but your body can't. They just fantasize about being back and playing well and all that other stuff, and it just never works like that. Your body has to catch up. Your mind has to catch up. It just snowballs. While everybody is practicing, you are in the back. While everybody is playing, you're in the back. While everybody is home, you're getting treatment. It's a very lonely role. That's why, for me, I tried to get back as soon as possible because I was like, man, this just sucks. It just eats at you." For Love, all that hard work, those lengthy sessions when no one else was around led to Friday night. Love's debut was brief. He played 6 minutes and 29 seconds against the Washington Wizards, scoring 4 points and making one of his 5 shots before being replaced by Ante Zizic. That was always the plan. The Cavs are going to be cautious. They will bring him along slowly. They know his importance. After the game, Love said he felt good. Instead of staying on the bench and watching the game, Love went to the locker room, got treatment, lifted weights and did some cardio. There were no setbacks. "All things considered, it was a successful comeback. I was moving well," Love said. "Just rushed a couple of my shots, but it just felt really good to be back out there." The first offensive possession mirrored some of what's been happening at practice. Rookie Colin Sexton brought the ball up the floor, called out the play and fed Love in the post. The crafty veteran backed down against Jeff Green, used a pump fake to get Green in the air and jumped into him, drawing a shooting foul. Love went to the stripe and canned both free throws, his first points since October 24. Early Friday morning, Cavs head coach Larry Drew mentioned how often he has noticed a conscious effort from Sexton to put the ball in Love's hands during practice. The Cavs have been running a fence through Love in dummy sets as well, the same plan they hatched in training camp. Before everything started to crumble, I threw him ball and I said, "Welcome back." Said it was cool to be honest, Sexton said of Love's first touch. I knew he had a time limit on how long he would be out there. I wanted him to get his groove back, so when he does play for real, he will be good. How Love's return impacts Sexton remains to be seen. It's been one of the toughest parts of this season. Cleveland's ultimate vision was Love guiding the rebuild, taking pressure off Sexton, Cedi Osman and some of the other youngsters, allowing them to develop at a deliberate pace while keeping them from having to do too much. After the fourth game, everything changed. While sidelined, Love has tried to help in other ways, watching film and providing feedback. He's even let Sexton know the difference between good and bad shots. Love has been an extra set of eyes, the trusted leader he vowed to become prior to the season. Now, his on-court presence, Drew believes, should lead to other gains. Colin hasn't played with anybody like a Kevin Love, Drew said. Kevin can make life a lot easier. Not just for Colin, but for everybody because he has the ability to stretch it out to the three, has the ability to post us, is a terrific passer. This is going to be something new for Colin to get a feel for Kevin, how to get him the ball, when to get him the ball, where to get him the ball. I think that would benefit Colin and Kevin, and both will enjoy playing with one another. Love won't play Saturday night in Indiana. It's the second game of a back-to-back and the Cavs will arrive late. That's too quick of a turnaround. But he's hoping to play in at least one of the two home games next week, getting a bit more action prior to the All-Star break. After chatting with Cleveland.com about his long road back, Love joked about the most exciting 6 minutes and 29 seconds of the season for the Cavs. It was a small first step but a necessary one. It was also a needed boost for a team that's been beaten down this season. Love knows all about that too. But as he said Friday, it's time to look ahead, so Love packed his bags and started walking toward the exit. His comeback official, the grueling rehab is done and those finely tailored threads can be shelved again. "I have enough suits to get me through 3 months, but I'm tired of wearing that every game," he said.